What's up, guys? Studfit here for another driver deep dive of the week. This time for Dry Bowser Gold. The purpose of this series is how many times have you tried to understand the coverage and clicked into the driver and then just looked at those tracks and say, this doesn't help me one bit. And you had to leverage spreadsheets and trackers, which we still highly recommend you doing. But we thought, why don't we present a little behind the scenes, a little behind the curtain as to what kind of coverage these drivers have. Should it be something worth investing in? Really, where are those tracks that you get the most value from? And so we've been going through, and if you haven't already, comment which drivers you feel like you'd like to see us do in the future. Today will be Dry Bowser Gold. He's a very unique driver, and when he came out, he had the most tracks for a short period of time, and now he's not quite as powerful when it comes to that coverage. We now have other drivers that have done really well. But this Bob-omb Cannon, for whatever reason, Nintendo likes to give Bob-omb Cannon drivers a lot of coverage. And so for that reason, it's always really helpful to understand a little bit behind what that kind of coverage looks like. So, Dry Bowser Gold debuted in the Cooking Tour in June of 2020. He's reappeared in, nearly every gold pipe that we've ever had, including the first anniversary tour, the New Year's 2021 tour, the gold pipe in the Ninja Tour, the gold pipe in the LA Tour, the gold pipe in the Halloween 2021 tour. A lot of gold pipes. Obviously, he's gold, so that makes a lot of sense, but that's how he has been reappearing in this game. You probably have him on the way to trying to get that coin box driver that you really wanted. You're probably wondering, should I put tickets on him? Yes or no? So we'll get into all of that. The total of non-city tracks at level 6 is 21. When you look at the tracks that he has overlap with, the drivers he has the most overlap with, there's one driver he has the most with, and that is Waluigi, bus driver. Whew, right? You know, it's not a driver you're really too afraid of stealing that value, so that's a good sign. As for the others, he's got 3 drivers that have 5 track overlaps at level 6, and that would be Luigi Lederhosen, Lakitu Party Time, and Bowser Jr. Pirate. So those are some big ones. Obviously, Lakitu Party Time being the biggest one there. That takes a lot of his coverage. And then as we look at the drivers that have 4 tracks overlapped, we have Cowboy, Wario, Shy Guy Ninja, Pauline Rose, Metal Mario, Funky Kong, Donkey Kong Jr. SNES, Daisy Yukata, and then Builder Luigi. So not too many you're afraid of. I will say Shy Guy Ninjas. Losing 4 tracks to him is tough. That is a popular driver, a favorite of many. And then there are about 8 drivers that have 3 overlaps. So when you have a lot of tracks, 21 non-city tracks is a decent amount. That's pretty good. So to lose so many to, say, Lakitu Party Time, that might be the one to take note of. If you have Party Time Lakitu at a high level, you may not want to invest in Dry Bowser. But let's look at the leftover tracks, the non-coin box tracks. He has 3 what we call exclusive tracks. These are Neo Bowser City, Rock Mountain R, and Rosalina Ice World T. Now, I will say, put a caveat on that, the last 2 times we've seen Rosalina Ice World T in All Cup ranking, it was in a Pink Gold Peach Cup, which gave her a boosted level. So you've probably wondered, I remember PGP on that track? No, it was Cup boosted for being in the PGP Cup, obviously. So just make note of that. The other 3 tracks that we want to make note of is Calamari Desert R. You have Boomerang Bro at level 6. You have Lemmy and Kangaroo Yoshi. All 3 of these are Boomerang drivers. You're probably going to likely use that skill. But Dry Bowser Gold, I think that skill is one that can be tough to harness. If I know, though, that I guarantee you have Lemmy at least at level 1. Otherwise, welcome to the game. And then we have Boomerang Bro. You probably have a level 6. Hopefully, at least 6 months into playing the game. And then you may or may not have Kangaroo Yoshi. So I think you have probably some better options than Dry Bowser Gold on that track. And let's move to the T version of Calamari Desert. You have level 3 Boomerang Bro. You have Shy Guy Ninja. So those are the two Boomerang drivers you have on that track. And then, of course, the popular overlap with him, Lakitu Party Time. Nice to have there with Lucky 7. And then Neo Bowser City T, you have Shy Guy Ninja as the only option. So if you don't like Boomerang, Dry Bowser Gold might be your guy. But Antoliv, tell us a little bit more about Dry Bowser Gold. Would you invest in him? Who should and why not? And what kind of situations might he be a good driver for you?
Yeah, so Gold Dry Bowser is, as you say, he's kind of the start of this conversation of raw coverage versus driver skill. Back in 2020 when he came out, his 21 non-city tracks, and he's only got one city. There was a huge amount of tracks, like way more than any other driver in the game. But yeah, then when you look into the coverage a little bit more, you see that like so many of his tracks were taken up by a Coinbox driver. So it was really a debate of, yeah, I can invest in him, but there's a better option on a lot of his tracks. Now, this year in 2021, he has been a bit outpaced by drivers like Blackbirdo, like Flora Peach, Penguin Mario, all these drivers who have got like 22, 23, 26 in Peach Explorer's case. Track, so it's not that special anymore. And this is a case of what happens to drivers without plus skills. As they get older, they really fall by the wayside. The 21 non-city tracks, it's still in the top 10 for raw coverage out of all the drivers in the game. So it's pretty good. But 15 of his tracks are Coinbox tracks. If we look into those tracks, the thing about his Coinbox tracks are he doesn't have a lot of overlap with any specific Coinbox driver. Only King Bob Gold has 3 overlaps with him, and no other Coinbox driver has more than 2. It's kind of pretty evenly distributed. So if you don't have like a really relatively full stable of Coinbox drivers, he may add some interesting coverage for you on those Coinbox drivers, but you have to look into that yourself. And as Studfit said, that he does have these 3 exclusives, but one thing I want to point out at the time of this recording, Neo Bowser City and Rock Mountain are both tracks which Kamek and Yoshi Kangaroo have not yet seen as a potential for both of them. So that it's maybe you want to wait until, if you're considering putting tickets in him, maybe you want to wait until those tracks come back and see if either Yoshi, Kangaroo, or Kamek get buffed. I could really easily see Kamek getting buffed on Neo Bowser City. Rock Mountain R, I'm not sure. Nintendo seems like they want to keep that as a non-plus skill track in general, but it looks kind of thematically fitting with Yoshi Kangaroo, so who knows. And then Rosa Ice Rolls T is probably his most interesting track, as there are no super drivers high end there like the other ones. But yeah, as Studfit said, I think it's like 4 times where Pink Gold Peach has got cup boosted on this track, so it's a bit of a coin flip whether you're gonna have a Coinbox driver there or not. So who should invest? Accounts that don't have Ninja Shy Guy, King Bob-omb, and Party Time Lakitu. And who shouldn't invest? Accounts that cover most of his Coinbox tracks with Coinbox drivers already and have some reasonable coverage on these 6 tracks. These are exclusives, but he doesn't have a plus skill, so you could also have another driver. If you have Metal Mario level 6 or 7, that's fine for Rock Mountain. If you have Penguin Luigi, that's equal on Rosalina's Ice Roll T, for example. And if you've got Bowser Jr. and Boom Bro at 6, then you've got a bunch of these tracks already covered. I think 3 or 4 of them are already covered because Bowser Jr. is on both those Neo Bowser City tracks. What's your opinion? How do you have them on your account?
Yeah, I think for the masses, if you're still kind of a new player, maybe you pulled him in a gold pipe and need the coverage and maybe need to throw a ticket on him. I don't think it would hurt because it does give you some decent coverage. But yeah, his time has come and gone, and that coverage is a little older coverage. I think if you don't like Boomerang, which I think a lot of people see the ceiling of Boomerang being so much higher, and there's some tracks where Boomerang makes a lot of sense because that second shelf has a lot of coin boxers, but there's a couple tracks like I'm trying to remember which Calamari Desert doesn't have any coin boxers on that second shelf, and so I'm thinking to myself, I'm pretty sure it's the It's the Calamari Desert R. When I'm thinking to myself, like, do I want to try to do boomerang, or it's going to be really, really tough to try to get that boombox frenzy. It might just be easier just to use a high end driver. Get the double coin frenzy and move on.
Sure.
There's a lot of tricks on some of these Calamari Desert tracks where you can go up that one little glider section and go across the track. So I think that's a good track to have a bomb cannon. I love having him at level. So I think he's one of the coolest looking drivers. I think I have him even on
Definitely
on the shirt here. He's right there. I love the way he looks. He's so cool.
His original design to Mario Kart Tours, the skin has not appeared before in any Mario franchise, so it's a Mario Kart 2 original. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a big hitbox, and there's a lot of pluses to him, except for his skill. I think for many who are looking to, and you have to put a ticket in him, I don't think it's a bad idea. And I might even be using him for All Cup ranking this tour, just because of his hitbox and the fact that he's going to be probably the highest base points that I'm going to be using. So. Overall, I think that coverage is king, and if you don't have a lot of coin boxes, if you're not like an absolute whale, he's not someone bad to put tickets on. But I don't think anyone should be rushing out the door to throw tickets on him. It's one of those, see if you can, do whatever you can with whoever you have. But if you have to put tickets on him, I don't think it's something that you lose sleep over.
Yeah, there's one other thing I forgot to mention. We have these recurring gold pipes, every couple of months, and he is in almost every gold pipe as like the throwaway, like the filler guy that you'd want to avoid getting. But as a result, you may level him up naturally that way if you're, I like free-to-play account. I think I have him level 3, and it's just from pulling on these gold pipes. Then he comes in useful. So then maybe you want to think, well, maybe I don't throw tickets. Maybe I just wait till he gets leveled a bit more naturally from that, and then maybe I consider putting a cap ticket on them if it gets up to like level 4 or something.
Yeah, that's actually a really good point. Maybe I wouldn't use tickets on him at all, and just let the game. If you plan on playing this game for another year or two, I could guarantee you'll probably get him up to level 6 just naturally. So. Yeah, probably smart advice there. Just hold off your tickets then in that case. But if you like using awesome looking drivers, there you go. That might be your one reason to use tickets on them. But thank you very much, Antolev. If you guys have a recommendation for the next driver deep dive, feel free to leave it in the comments. We try to read those and we try to get feedback from the community because this segment is driven by you. But thank you for your time today, and may the friends you like be with you. See you guys.